And hello there everyone, welcome to more The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel. We need to go to the mine to find out what's going on, but I just wanted to mention something quickly. I recently rewatched the opening credits and their little opening video sequence that happens before you press any buttons. There's some interesting elements in there. When you get the chance to see everything after you're this far in, you're like, hey, wait a minute, I know what's going on there. And that's interesting context.
Every minute we spend here, things are getting worse for the miners. Stay calm, Elisa.
Ah, poor miner Dick.
Yeah, the railway military police are on their way, after all.
Let's at least try and get a look at what's going on.
Yeah. The police will definitely find some miner Dick. And I guess the others too. But no, the context really, there's this whole scene, the end of it, right? This is the opening credits video, where there's, this weird shadowy monster thing. It's all like raw and like a weird empty gray void, right? And then it has like this image of like that critter, but seen as a reflection in Reen's eye. And then you're like, wait a minute, Reen has this weird special power. Maybe he does actually really have a demon in him. Whereas if at the start of the game, when you haven't seen that, you could mistake it. Okay, maybe it's some sort of internal thing.
Man, if terrorists really were planning to blow up the mine,
it would shake the very foundations of the Empire.
I don't think they're gonna. It'd be weird if they wanted to blow up the entire mine, because they're technically patriots. At least that's how they would call themselves. But yeah, like the demon in the eye thing could be seen both as, there's a hint of something weird to fight at the end that you're gonna face off with, or some demon force in the eyeball. Lots of weird things. And then there's that one of the one I'm curious about.
that looks like a tough one. Watch out!
Is the imagery of the city filled with mechs. Or robots. Or robot mechs. We'll have to see how that one plays out. What the hell? It's a little bit smoky. This is awful. Smoke's pouring out all the place. Can't see too far like this. The terrorists set fire to something. The fire's been put out, but something still seems off. Okay, the terrorists decided to strike here. They kind of struck both. Right by the entrance. And this is definitely a face-off between the RMP and the Provincial Army. What are they doing here? The entrance is blocked off too. Now the mine is owned by the Imperial Royal Family. So technically it's not, neither side can claim possession to it. So I bet the Provincial Army is like, well, it's in Nordia, that's good enough for us. Terrorists have they have complete control of the mine? Interesting. Interesting. Tipped into the mine, you put their lives in jeopardy. That's why you're sitting out here, twiddling your thumbs, not even attempting to negotiate with them. You have an objective in mind. You can't allow them to buy them any further time. Yeah, those armored cars really should be pointing a different direction. Even if they do want to stop people from getting inside. It seems the French has taken it upon themselves to set up a blockade. Or at least that it looks like at first glance, yes. But why? I agree, it is very suspicious that their guns are trained outwards, not inwards. Even if they were quote-unquote worried about the hostages, which is fine, and a legitimate excuse. To have their armored vehicles aiming their guns outward, though, no. French army is too well prepared. Got it. Yep. I'm in agreement. You can't be serious. In on it, the terrorists set off some kind of explosion in there. Look at all that smoke pouring out. That's what they want you to think. That doesn't look like smoke from afar to me. They're probably using smoke grenades. Smoke grenades? And the provincial army has some other reason for blockading the mine. It's got something to do with Reinford's first factory. Okay. That's what Captain Claire said, and that makes the timing of all this look pretty darn suspect. It's like there's something they're trying to hide. And that means they sealed up the mine to give them time to dispose of it. Makes a fair bit of sense if you think about it. Yes, what is down there? It's really likely the miners are in danger. Yes, they're probably not going to have any witnesses. Go back to Roar. Think carefully what they're going to do next. If we're going in, and we are, because we are meddling kids, it is better to have a plan.
Well, to start with, we need to work out exactly what's going on here.
If it's true that the terrorists are working with the Noble faction, then it seems likely their aim is to eliminate the evidence of whatever they've been hiding in the first factory.
But did they really have to go this far? The iron mine is owned by His Majesty the Emperor himself, right?
That's right. The province of Nortia is tasked with managing it while Reinford mines, refines, and processes the iron. And iron is the single most vital natural resource to this nation's continued survival.
I don't know. What about food? And beer? I think Sarah would say beer is the most vital resource to the nation's survival.
If this isn't resolved quickly, it's going to deal a heavy blow to the entire country, including the nobles themselves.
Ooh.
So I guess the question is just whether the Noble faction and the terrorists realize that or not.
Or that the price is worth the cost.
Sounds to me like they're a pretty divided bunch as it is.
Yep. The terrorists seem like they're basically all commoners, too. They're only cooperating because they both see the Chancellor as a common enemy.
And if that's the case, it seems pretty likely that what they're doing here is related to that somehow.
Sounds like someone started the party without me.
That's Angelica, I think. Yeah, it is. Oh, Head George is here too. Hi, Angelica.
Angelica?
If you could make an inappropriate comment about the ladies, that would help calm my nerves.
You came too, George?
Yo, figured you'd show up eventually.
Well, we had to test the sidecar, obviously.
This bike is just full of surprises. You made the trip to Ruhr in 7 hours. So, speed-wise, we're looking great. Comfort, though, we're gonna have to tweak a few things.
I swear, you two never change. Kinda figured Toho wouldn't be able to make it, too.
Yeah, she's working on gathering a boatload of information, though. She said she'd be in touch if she finds anything out.
Well, that's reassuring at least.
Could someone tell me what's going on?
Yeah, I want it straightened out for me too. I have some suspicions, but...
You seem to be hot on the trail of something, but I'm not sure it's the same thing we're investigating.
Does this have something to do with those family affairs you told me you were worried about?
Yeah, it does. I had some nagging suspicions about it. Unfortunately, my hunch turned out to be right on the money.
Hold on. Isn't the director of the first factory...
My dear Uncle Heidel Rogner.
Heidel Rogner?
Seems like it might do us both some good to swap info. How about it?
Now let's find a better place to talk.
They're dumping iron onto the black market?
Yeah. The amount of steel they're producing doesn't quite match up with the amount of iron ore being mined. That's been the case for quite a few years now.
Officially, the reason given is that the purity of the ore being mined is lower now than it used to be. But if you look at what's coming out of the mine, there's no evidence of that.
Well, that would explain why the figures don't add up.
And because they were feeding the raw iron onto the black market rather than the finished steel...
That makes it a lot harder to notice when a little goes missing here and there.
Man, Toa put all the pieces together on her own?
Well, well, well. That seems like the kind of thing that even a noble's head would roll over when they found out.
I'd expect no less from my beloved Toa.
Aww.
She poured over everything. Reinford's yearly sales figures, government reports on the mine's productivity, you name it. That's how she picked up on the discrepancy.
She's really something else.
Iron ore being sold off the black market, accounting sheets that don't add up. George, how much iron ore is unaccounted for, roughly speaking? Do you know?
Like, enough to equip an army, maybe?
Assuming for a moment that all the missing iron was refined into steel, how much steel would we be looking at?
This is just a bit of speculative math on my part, but I'd say somewhere in the neighborhood of 100,000 Torum, which is enough to build 2,000 oxen tanks.
Ooh. Oh. Oh. That is not a little bit going missing here and there.
2,000?
That's practically an army.
Though you would need quite the facility to process and actually use that stuff.
The Saxon iron mine is a pillar of the Empire's economy. The amount of iron they pull out of there is almost ridiculous.
I think it is ridiculous.
Even if you pocket a small amount every year, it's going to add up to a lot of iron real quick.
But what are they planning to do with all of it? Is the noble faction trying to make their own tanks in secret?
Well, they're putting it on the black market, which means somebody's buying it up. But who?
They couldn't even if they wanted to. Only the second factory has the knowledge and equipment to make tanks.
Or do they? Ouroboros is lending a hand into all this.
And not only does the second factory have close ties with the Imperial Army, it also leans toward the reformist faction.
You need all kinds of complicated technology to make even a basic tank. It's not as simple as just grabbing some steel, some blueprints, and some grease and getting to work.
So what does that leave them? Selling the iron to another country for profit? I don't know how likely that is. Seems like deals that big would be too easy to trace.
Okay, so setting aside the ore itself for a moment, now that you know this, and given what's happening in Ruhr right now, what were the two of you planning on doing?
It's pretty simple. My uncle oversees the first factory, and the provincial army is blockading the mine. There's no way my family isn't involved.
I must agree, Angelica.
On the other side, you've got all the miners just trying to do their jobs who got dragged into this whole mess. I'm a Ragnar. I might not be a great daughter, but there's no way I'm gonna let this go on without putting up a fight.
Angie.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. You're seriously gonna go talk to your old man about this?
Hell no. Like he'd even listen to a word I said.
I agree. And he's probably in on it.
Same goes for the provincial army. I'd just be wasting my breath. That's why I'm planning on sorting out this mess myself.
Yeah, Angelica.
I used to work part-time in the mine. I know the place like the back of my hand.
Oh, I should have caught up on that, actually. That was a great piece of foreshadowing. Remember, they mentioned that Angelica worked there. I just thought it was a neat little quirk about her. But then, this! Oh, well done, game.
As long as I can find my way inside, I think I can handle the terrorists well enough.
I figured you'd say something like that.
Honestly, does nothing faze you?
In that case,
Synchronized.
I'd like to ask that you take us along.
We can look at this as a test of how to best respond to a sudden crisis. Looking at it from that perspective, I think it fits neatly within the scope of our field study. Don't you?
Yeah, after hearing all that, I don't want to let them have their way.
Besides, we've already stopped the terrorists twice. What's a third time?
Agreed.
I'm with Angelica here. My family's involved in this too. I feel like I have a duty to do something about it.
Thanks. Truth be told, I was kind of hoping you'd back me up anyway. Whatever help you can give, I'll take it.
Well, that's that.
The next thing we need to consider is how to slip into the mine without the provincial army taking notice. At the very least, Angie should be able to get the officer in charge to talk with her, but...
So, what, we sneak inside while she's distracting them?
I don't know. That sounds a little overly simplistic to work.
Leave finding our way in to me.
Alright.
If anyone's good at cutting red tape, it's my mother. Maybe she could help us out.
Maybe.
She could, but would she?
Yeah.
Well, if you think so.
Then again, if we laid all the facts to her, she might have something to do about all this.
Alright, I'll leave securing an alternate route to you then. For now, I'm gonna see if I can find out anything else about my family's or the Provincial Army's involvement here. George, give Toa a call and see if you can find out what the Imperial government is doing about all this.
Gotcha. I'll see if I can turn up any machinery that might be useful too.
This is starting to feel like last year's field studies all over again.
I still want to know what you guys ended up doing. In a crisis like this, we needed all the help we could get. Go to see Chairman Irina. Must be back at the Rhineford headquarters by now, right? Active deception. Yeah! Looks like we're kicking into high gear again. I feel like every field study is destined to happen like this. Don't try and stop me, Una. I have to do this. Just forget the mine. And now it's up to me to go and save everyone single-handedly. Not while there are terrorists there, it's not. Can't just stand around when they could be in danger. Don't worry, guys. I'm coming for you. He's more instinct than thought. PV lost that unit around. Anything new to buy? No. Hello? Yeah, factory's put all work on hold. Can't do a thing without iron from the mine. What's going to happen to us now? You don't think they were the ones who caused the fire at the factory, do you? You'd think you'd have some backup supplies so that, you know, if there's a holdup at the mine, it wouldn't literally cause the city to grind to a halt in a minute. Here's a backbone. See, it's going to be trouble if we run out of iron. Terrorists have taken over the mine. That's what they're doing. Isn't stuff like this what they're for? Yesterday they were boasting they were the only ones who could protect us, but what do they do when we need them? Nothing! That's a good point. My freight line lead to the stop completely. Yes, but what does Zinc think about this? Good point, Zinc. You really helped clarify some thoughts out of the issue. Yeah, you guys should really need to have some backup. Tear stack the mine. These are some of our best customers. They're all safe. That's a good question. So, which sounds like you care more? They were my best customers. I hope they're safe. Or, I hope they're safe. They're my best customers. Because both sound kind of... Is that all you care about them for? Oh, worked for the store earlier. I've never seen a product like that in our lineup. Kind of curious about where they got it. It's in research. Everyone uses that mine. When they're boiling water in a kettle or driving a tank. Alright. And again, all the more reason for that mine to have some stockpile. There's nothing talked about already. Quit calling me Toddy, too. It's really weird. Everyone in town seemed kind of on edge. Did something happen? Why, yes it did, little boy. Yes it did. Tears at the mine, but my husband is there. Is he alright? You know that mystery door on the map? Yeah, I have a feeling triple question mark door there that's pointed in the direction of the mines may have something to do with what we're going to use to get in there. Just a feeling. It brought me a whole lot of bunch of junk to look at too. You're gonna make a fine engineer one day, no doubt about it. Did he bring you a giant, weird, mystery robot arm from the old schoolhouse? No. All right. Went to the store, did that. Oh, that reminds me. I should probably go turn in my quest. Guess what? Lady Angelica was here! Lady Angelica! Squeal, I can't believe she came all the way here to see us. Heart. Must have finally realized our burning love for her. Squeal, Lady Angelica, Lady Angelica! Eee. Headed south, did you? Not too shabby for students. Thank you. Oh, that was a little more polite. Alright. Warning me off about getting involved in things that don't concern me. Lady Angelica actually came back. Even to my eyes, given how much she hates being here. May she came back of her own volition. That wasn't the only miracle. She's suddenly become even more gallant than when I last saw her. I'd love to be able to train with her again someday. Interesting. His attitude's very different now. She came to speak with his lordship, the Marquis. She's got into her. I don't think I've ever seen the two of them get along. Maybe because the Marquis is a dick! No, he's not. There's only one dick in town, and that's Minor Dick. Maybe her dad's just a jerk! Yeah, that works. At least has some medical knowledge. You think in a modern city like this, they might have a hospital? I agree, Father Clavy. It is hard to believe that they are unconnected. No, it would be irresponsible of me to engender a feeling of unease among the townspeople. Oh, Aelios, please quell the discomfort of the people, and return peace to the sea. And smite the terrorists with your holy lightning. The Septine Church calling for a swift resolution to the crisis. Don't worry, something will swiftly realize this, because meddling kids are here. Terrorists? We can't be serious. Our related shares are going to take a dive. Just tell our clients. It's being handled? This is awful. I can't believe how many terrible things going on. Nothing like this ever happened when Gwyn was in charge of Rhineford Company. Damn kids! See what happens when you don't respect your elders? Terrorists! The company would have lost their way. So wait, you think, oh, the company lost its way, and that's why terrorists have attacked the mine? I don't think that really works. So there's ways away, but all of this still makes me uneasy. Okay. Yeah, I don't think they actually are trying to do that, Karen. They can take care of them soon. Alright. Oh, I kind of want to go peek in here now. Softly noisy outside. Was there a fire at the factories or something? Wait a minute. Automatic fire extinguisher. Well, not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea at all. Long time no see, George. What are you doing here? Please tell me you finally decided to transfer. It took you long enough. That's not why I'm here. But I need it soon. Ooh. Anything you need, we'll get it for you. The high-powered one. Can I borrow that in secret now? In secret now? You gotta be kidding. Ooh. We're gonna try to learn more about that next time. Thanks for watching. Please share your thoughts, your comments. I love to read them. Otherwise, please like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and you can always follow me on Twitter or check me out on Patreon. Talk to you soon.